No, I haven't recorrected anything in the experiment 7. If you're not able to resubmit, then do one thing, Suman. Uh, Give me an email. Send it, that experiment 7, into an email. Fine. So why only 5 to 6 students have joined? Exam is over, right? Okay, so my question was what we have done in the last lab. Do we have completed that serial communication experiment in the Arduino? Okay, fine. And had we started that? I think we have started with the parallel communication, and from the serial communication, it was pending. Okay, so let us start from that only. Just a minute. Are you able to see the screen, everyone? Okay. So last time we have studied some of the things about parallel communication, right? That which are the parallel communication characteristics, what are the drawbacks of it, and why we are using serial communication, right? So some of the slides we have already seen, I think, up to here. Yeah. And from serial communication, we are going to start now. So we have seen that in the parallel communication, there are some problems, there are some limitations, right? So the major limitation is you cannot increase the length of the cable if you are using a parallel communication. Because if you will do that, there will be delay between the data. I mean, the all datas will be received at the receiver side, will not be in the synchronization. Okay, and we have that parallel communication cables not more than some inches. That also we have seen by one example, right? So serial communications are preferred if you want to use for the longer distance. Okay, so let us start with the serial communication today. So serial communication is nothing but, you all know, right? We are sending the same 8-bit data what we want to do in the parallel communication, but here we don't have those 8 wires. Okay, only one wire is there, and in that one wire we can send 1 bit at a time. Fine. So if you want to send 8-bit of data, we have to send that 8-bit bit by bit. So 1 bit, then second bit, and then third bit, and so on. Okay, so the process of sending data 1 bit at a time sequentially over a communication channel is known as a serial communication, as you can see here. So why to use serial? As I told you that whenever you want to use, a major problem with the parallel communication is we cannot use it for the longer distances. So it is ideal. Serial communication is ideal for the long distance communication, and it will be much cheaper than the parallel communication, because in parallel we will require that many wires, whatever number of bits we want to transmit at a time. So if you are using 32-bit communication, 32-bit parallel communication, then 32 wires are required. But in the serial, it will not be. Fine. So yes, it will be much cheaper than the parallel communication. Parallel wires can operate at a faster frequency than parallel. So see, in the parallel communication, you will think that we are sending 8-bit data at a time, or 32-bit data at a time. It means 32-bit data will be sent at a time. So communication will be faster, right? But let me tell you that whenever you are using the parallel communication, the clock frequency you can keep cannot be large. The clock frequency, if the clock frequency will be large, then the frequency large means what? The narrow signals will come. And at that time, it will be very difficult to synchronize between those 8-bit or 32-bit data. So if any problem occurs in the synchronization or in any of these 32 wires, then your data will not be received properly. So you cannot keep the high frequency of the clock in the parallel communication. But here in the serial communication, it is possible. Synchronization difficulty is reduced, as I told you, right? Then parallel, whenever you are doing parallel communication, you have to think that, okay, 8-bit data is sent at a time from the transmitter, it should be received at a time. But sometimes it cannot be happened because of the damage in wire or some problem in the wire. All the wires manufacturing cannot be same. Fine. So synchronization in the data receiving is not proper in the parallel communication. But here those difficulties of the synchronization can be reduced. So less wires to worry about. So less synchronization problem will be. Okay, so only one wire is there. So there will be less problems of synchronization. So two basic types are there for the serial communication. Generally, synchronous and asynchronous type of serial communications are being used. Okay, so let me tell you what is the difference between synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous serial communication means the data which will be transmitted in a wire will be regulated by an external clock. External clock means two wires will be there. One wire is used to carry data and second wire is used to give or provide a clock. Okay, so one extra wire is required to provide the clock cycle, clock signal. And asynchronous means what? It will be regulated by the special signals along the transmission lines. So whenever you are using the synchronous transmission, synchronous serial communication, two wires will be there. One will be the data, and that data will be regulated by the extra signal which is passing through the another wire. External clock it is known as. So requires an extra wire for the clock signal. But in the asynchronous serial communication, all those data, whatever you are transmitting through a single wire, which will be regulated not by the clock, it will be regulated by the special signals like enable signal, or in some it is they are using request and acknowledgement signal, right? So some signals which is not a clock signal, which is not belongs to the frequency signal. Okay, so those are regulated by some special signals along the transmission lines. Now let me tell you, in most of the system, synchronous and asynchronous both communications are will be used. But let me give you that how actually the data will be transferred. So let us see the synchronous transmission. Utilizes two different signals on the separate line. First is the clock signal and second is the data. Okay, so what will happen whenever first clock will come, first bit of data should be arrived at the receiver side. Second clock will come, second data should be there. In the third clock, third bit. Fourth clock, fourth bit. So if your clock is, let's say, having 16 cycles, so you could send 16 bit of data. So according to the cycle of clock, the data bits will be passed. So data bits are synchronized with the clock. One clock will be completed, D0 bit will not be received after that. And whenever second clock will come, D1 bit will come. Third clock will come, D2 bit will come. So these bits are synchronized with the clock, right? This clock cycle. So clock, obviously we are talking about the digital data. So that's why I'm telling you about the digital clock only. So this is known as synchronous communication, synchronous serial communication. Anyone is having any doubt into the synchronous serial communication? Synchronous serial communication, very simple to understand. One data will be transmitted or will be received, but with the regulated signal, and that regulated signal is a clock. One clock, one bit, second clock, second bit, and so on. Fine. So you can say that, for example, your clock is of 2 megahertz. Let's say your clock cycle is of 2 megahertz. So what does it mean? That one time period, one cycle is having a time period of 1 upon 2 megahertz, that is 0.5 microsecond. It means one bit will be received in 0.5 microsecond. Again, in the next 0.5 microsecond, second bit will be received. Again, in the next 0.5 microsecond, third bit will be received, and so on. Okay, so this will be the this will happen into the synchronous serial communication. Very easy to understand. Next is asynchronous. So signals are specified by predetermined data transfer protocols. So here, whenever you are transmitting any data, that should follow some protocols, which are actually predefined whenever the circuit, whenever the serial communication wire or transmission medium is designed. Preset frequency between the devices, signaling sequence specifying beginning and the ending of signal, and frequency set at beginning of transfer. Signaling sequence specifies beginning and ending of signal as well as transfer rate. So here, let me tell you what is the difference between these two. Whenever you are saying that signals are specified by predetermined data transfer protocol, so which those protocols can be? First is preset frequency between the devices. Okay, so it means, let's say two devices are in the communication, transmitter and the receiver, right? It can be two computers, computer and mobile phone, anything can be there. Okay, so two devices are there. So in between both the devices, frequency is set before doing communication. For example, if you are saying that my computer will work on the 3 megahertz, my computer will transmit on the 3 megahertz, so we will set a system in such a way so that receiver should also receive the data in the same frequency of 3 megahertz. So synchronization is not required actually. That clock signal is not required, because one clock cycle, one bit will become, that will actually by default it will happen because both the devices are set at the same frequency. Signaling sequence specifying beginning and the ending of the signal. Yes, so whenever you are sending any data like this, right, let's say you are sending the 16 bit of data. So in this sequence 16 bit of data, beginning and end bit will be defined into it, that after this beginning bit the data will come, and after whenever you will receive the end bit, you will come to know that okay, whatever data I want to receive, that is being received. Okay, so beginning and end bits will be mentioned into that, into the data. Frequency set at the beginning of transfer. As I told you, that whenever you are start doing transferring of the data from transmitter to receiver, you have to set frequency before that. Okay, so at beginning of transfer, you have to set the frequency for both the devices. So signaling sequence specifies beginning and ending of signal as well as transfer rate also. So here transfer rate will also be defined. For example, 5 bits in 1 microsecond. Okay, let's say we are deciding the transfer rate. Transfer rate means data rate, right? In how much speed your data will be transferred from one place to another place. So that transfer rate will also be defined. So that transfer rate is nothing but a clock, right? Is nothing but actually telling you the speed of the data transfer. So if you are saying that your data transfer rate is 5 bits per 1 microsecond, so that will be followed, and that will be actually you can say communicated to the receiver also. So receiver will come to know that okay, 1 microsecond is done, it means I need to receive this 5 bit. So 5 bits will be received to the receiver. So that is asynchronous. Generally, synchronous communication mostly will be used in most of the devices, in most of the serial communication medium. Now, universal asynchronous receiver or transmitter, that's a protocol UART, which is being followed by the serial port communication. Whenever you are using the serial communication, one of the protocol being used is UART. Common serial port used on the ICs used to convert parallel data to serial utilizes the shift register. So generally, why actually this protocol is being used? Whenever you are transmitting any data through the serial communication, but let's say your computer is working on the parallel communication, isn't it? I repeat, your communication is having one processor IC, right? Like this. Let's say this is the processor, for example. So this processor is working on, let's say, 32 bit at a time. So I told you, right? I told you in the last lab only that parallel communication is being used within the system. Within the system means in the computer, in the motherboard, whatever communication is done, that is parallel. But if you are doing communication with the peripheral devices, that can be serial. Okay, so what they are saying is whenever you are doing the communication by using the serial transmission medium, but data is coming from the device which is parallel data, 32-bit data at a time. So how 32-bit data at a time will be communicated through the serial communication medium? So what they are doing is some serial port is assigned to that, and that actually will be happened to convert parallel data into the serial data. So parallel to serial converter, how it is possible? So you have studied that into the digital electronics. Shift register. If you studied the shift register in the digital electronics, then four types of shift register can be there: serial to serial, serial to parallel, parallel to serial, and parallel to parallel. Okay, so four type of shift registers are there. In this, one of the shift register can be used to do this, that is parallel data will be given to the register, and this registers will give the serial data, and after that your serial communication can work, otherwise not. Okay, so some common serial ports are there which are used on the ICs to convert the parallel data to the serial one by using the shift register. And those all communication, this all communication with protocol, you know, one zero. Okay, so this is your 8-bit of data, B0 to B7. Whenever you want to transmit this data by using the UART, as I told you, asynchronous communication will happen, right? So in the asynchronous communication, we have seen that we need to add one start and stop bit, which will actually tell the receiver that, okay, now next data is coming. Starting of the data is from here. And after receiving the complete data, one stop bit will be there. So it actually alerts the receiver for the incoming data. It synchronizes the clocks for the transfer. Yes, so actually we are saying that it is a asynchronous serial communication. Why? Because for each bit we are not providing a one clock, right? But what we are doing is we are simply giving start and stop bit. Okay, in this much time you will receive this 8-bit of data. Doesn't matter, it will follow, first bit will be received in the first clock, second bit will be received in the second clock. It is not required. Okay, but actually it is synchronizes clocks for the transfer, and typically 8 data bits will be used in the UART communication. So wherever the UART protocol will be followed, it will mostly be 8 data bits communication will be there. So 8 data bit means first of all that 8 parallel data will be converted into serial, and that will be transmitted by using this protocol. RS-232 standard. I hope you have heard about this RS-232 word, by which we are connecting a projector generally, right? So from the computer to projector, if you want to connect through the VGA cable, though this is nothing but your serial communication connector, RS-232. So RS-232 is not a cable, it's a connector, right? It is a connector which will connect the computer and the serial communication medium. So UART can use RS-232 standard to communicate to the PC. Standard establishes required voltages, that is driver chip. So let me tell you here, standard establishes required voltages means whenever you are using this type of RS-232 connector, this RS-232 is working on the different voltage levels, right? A different voltage level. So sometimes what will happen that your PC is working on, let's say, 12 volt, and some connectors or some serial cables are cannot receive, or these connectors cannot work on that voltage. So what generally being done, some driver chips are allocated into that PC, assigned into that PC. So those driver chips will convert your one voltage level into the supported another voltage level or desired voltage level. Okay, so those voltages can be converted whenever you will study. Say it is not that much important to study. No one is going to ask you about the RS-232 standard. I'm just giving you the example. But whenever you will study this RS-232, you will come to know that it is not working on the same voltage on computer is working, right? But yes, driver chip can convert that voltage into the required one. And yes, serial communication, when I using, we have said that it is the biggest advantage to use a serial communication is we can use the long wires to connect two things, right? So if you want to connect the serial communication by using the serial communication, then we require or we can use a long wire. So for example, you are using so many wires, so many connectors in your laptop, let's say. Right now you can see that whenever the laptops are updated, you will see that very less number of connectors are there, 5 to 6, right? But in the previous laptop there were so many connectors. Why? Because see, at that time we don't have the option, right? We didn't have that option to connect everything with the another type of communication also. So here they are saying that if you will connect all the type of peripheral devices with this type of serial cable, then it will be very messy, as it is seen in the picture. It will be very messy to see that the computer is connected with the peripheral devices with big wires. So it will be a very messy connection between the peripheral devices and the computer. So the solution can be the wireless communication. So one of the earliest wireless communication for the serial data transfer is was the Bluetooth, right? And why it was being introduced? Because no cables are required, and you know that Bluetooth is used for the some 10 meters of range, and you can do the simple wireless communication between two devices. So see here one example is given. Let's say Bluetooth is using actually WPAN network, that is wireless personal area network. It is also included into this type of network. It is not LAN WAN MAN, but it is WPAN, wireless personal area network. Generally, the range of the data communication can be in approximately 30 feet of radius. So around, for example, this PC is connected with all these devices through the Bluetooth. So the range in which it can do the communication with all the devices is approximately 30 feet, right? And yes, multiple devices can be connected by using a Bluetooth. You all know about it, right? So frequency, actually, in the Bluetooth, there are some versions also. You must know it, right? Version 2.1, version 3. So some different specifications are given for both different version. In Bluetooth 2.1, what was the radio frequency supported? What is the distance it can support? Over the air data rate will be 1 to 3 Mbps. Application throughput will be zero point 0.7 to 2.1 Mbps. And here in the third version, the radio frequency can vary from 2.4 gigahertz to 5 gigahertz. Range is same. Yes, data transfer rate is increased up to 54 Mbps, and you can get the application almost up to 24 Mbps minimum. So some characteristics are given for the Bluetooth. Required to set up automatically, find signal and accept it, uses one-time key and optional encryption, and devices are recognized in the future. So Bluetooth is not the only one which can do this serial communication wirelessly. Let me tell you, updated version of this wireless communication came, and lastly, right now we are using the Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi is also working with the serial communication, everyone, right? And let me tell you that one of the software I want to introduce here, that is Uno Arduino Simulator. In this, actually I will tell you that how you can use the serial, or how you can do the serial communication between two devices by using the serial port. Okay, so I will introduce this software after a break maybe, right? So take a 2 to 3 minutes break, everyone, and then we will introduce that software, and we will do some task into it. Okay, so everyone take a 2 minute break. Yes, Suman, it is 802.11 Ethernet standard. So everyone, after 2 to 3 minutes, come back, okay? Hello everyone. Why only 5 students are there? I think there were 11 to 12, right? I have given a break, not the end of the lab. Okay, anyways, their choice. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so can we resume now? Okay, so in the last, I have introduced one software that is known as Uno Arduino Sim. Okay, so see, if you get the interest into it, you can download from this, right? Whenever you will go to this website, you can directly will be able to download it. So whenever you will download, you will receive one zip file. You have to convert it into folder, and let me open it for you. Just a minute. Okay, and whenever you will open that folder, one file is there, .exe file. If you will open that directly, software will be open. So, okay, no screen. Okay, okay, okay. Just a minute, everyone. I'm sharing the screen. Okay, whenever you will download this software, you'll be able to download it easily from this link only. And in that link, you will find one zip file. To extract that zip file, you will get the folder. In that folder, .exe file is there, right? Application file. So open that application file, you will be able to open this type of window. Okay, so this is directly you can work on, that is a software file. So here so many things you can observe here. The main is this board. This is your Uno Arduino board. So in the physical also, if you will look at this board, it will look like this, which will use the controller 8MEGA328. Okay, there are some pins connected to it. Some analog pins are there. These are the digital pins. Okay, 0 to 13 ground and analog reference, and some analog pins are there. Okay, so in this Uno Arduino, some of the components and everything you can observe physically also, whatever you can look at here. Now, some of the other things mentioned here is so many things you can see around it, right? LED and 7-segment, LED forge, hum, servo motor, pulsar, and everything. But we are interested in here, serial port and alternate serial port. So we will work with these two ports which can be connected with this data pins. So serial communication means what? Bit by bit communication. So one pin is used for the transmitter and one pin is used for the receiver. So see here the same pins are used, pin number 1 and pin number 0. Pin number 1 and pin number 0 is being used for the transmitter and receiver. Okay, so whatever transmitter will transmit the characters that will be received at this receiver pin, 0 number, 0 pin is the receiver pin, and whatever receiver will send the data, that characters will be received at the 1 number pin. Okay, so that is the transmitter. So transmitter can transmit the data, it can be received here, then receiver can receive the data from the transmitter. That is about the serial port. Okay, and some different baud rates are mentioned here: 300, 600, 1200, 2400, and so on. Now let me tell you, this baud rate is simply defining a speed of communication. I will show you that also, don't worry. Okay, so whenever you want to do the communication between two serial ports, right, two devices, then you need to keep the higher speed, but yes, it should be supported. Okay, so baud rate of some serial ports are fixed. That's why the different speed are being given here. Okay, now how to work with the serial port, that is actually done by the program. So this is your program window. Okay, this is the program window. In the program window, let me tell you, Generally, two types of, see, Arduino programming is very easy, but I am not going to teach you the Arduino programming here because it is not the part of our DCN subject. But yes, to explain this serial communication, I have to tell a little bit about it. So let me tell you, two types of void loops will be used. One is the setup and second is the loop. Okay, so what will be happen in the setup? If you want to display anything one time, if you want to do setup of anything, if you want to select the pins, so everything if you want to do as a part of setup, then you can write it into this curly, between these two curly brackets. Okay, but if you want to repeat, for example, you want to write your name repetitively, loop and loop and loop and infinite loop, right? You don't want to stop, so you can write that into the loop. So what is actually a simple program? A default program is given here. That setup means count will be having starting value 0. It is same like C programming, not that much difficult, don't worry. Right? Count equal to 0. So count is a variable which is starting from the value 0. What is the loop? Loop says that increment that count value by 1 every time. Now the end is not given. It is not like in the C you are saying that I equal to 0, I plus plus, I less than or equal to 10. So up to 10 it will be stopped, right? So yeah, that can be done. But right now here what they are saying is void loop. So this will run into the loop. And yes, they are saying the delay also. The delay should be of 100. It means count is initially 0, then it will become 1. After 100, it will become. So let me tell you here, this Arduino programming, whenever you will define the delay value, that value is working on the millisecond. So here 100 means 100 millisecond. Okay, so after 100 millisecond, it will become 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Now, okay, this program is doing some task. Fine, but how to see the result? Where the result will be, right? So result can be in LEDs, in the 7-segment display, in the servo motor, in the pulsar, in the serial ports. So anything can be used to display the result. Okay, this is the program which will do the task, but where you will get the result? So in the C programming, result window is there, so you can come to know that okay, this is the result window, is showing the result. But here the result can be shown. If you are working with the physical Arduino board, you can connect the different devices with the Arduino, like LEDs and LCD display and 7-segment display and motor and servo motor and everything. Fine. But let's say you don't want to connect any peripheral device, you just want output, like you are looking in the C, right? So in the C also result window is there. Same way here, you can see the result without connecting any peripheral devices on the serial port. So whatever you want to do here, you can you can see the result into the serial port. Okay, so let me again go back to the PPT. So after downloading the software, yeah, when I already told you that unzip the folder, open the software, this type of window will be opened. Now, what I want to say is, okay, how will you understand that how serial communication will work? So let me tell you, in the serial communication, one example program is given. That whenever you want to see anything, you want to print anything on the serial window, you have to use that serial port. Then always you need to start with the serial dot begin into bracket baud rate. Whatever you want to set the baud rate, like 300, 600, 9600, 11200, whatever baud rate is present into here, whatever baud rate are present over here, you can use any of this. Okay, so let's say I have selected 9600 because same baud rate is present into the this program also. So every time when you want to print something onto the serial port, the first line into the setup should be serial dot begin into bracket that bit rate. Fine. Next is, now what you want to do into the serial communication. So maybe you want to print something, you want to transmit something, you want to receive something. So in the serial communication also many things can be done. Now if you want to print something into the C language, then what you are writing? Printf command, right? Same way here in the serial communication, if you want to write something, then the command is serial dot everywhere will be there. Okay, everywhere, whenever you want to use the serial communication port, serial command will be there. So serial dot, then print ln. Okay, actually print ln. Why it is print ln? If you can write print also, no problem. But ln means after writing hello world, it will be next, whatever you will print, that will be started from the next line. So your cursor will go to the next line. Okay, so for next line there will be ln, print ln. So let me copy this program. You understood this program, right? I have written only into the setup command. In the loop, I have said that do nothing. I don't want to do anything into the loop. Actually, this is the comment. Do nothing. You can keep it blank also. No problem. So let me copy this program and let us paste over here. So how to paste it? You cannot directly paste it over here. So go to any line you want, double click on it. So one edit window will be open. I repeat, go to anywhere, any line of this window and double click on it. So this type of window will be opened. And in this window, you can write your program whatever you want to. You can write by typing also. We have already copied, so I will simply paste it over here. Okay, so what I have passed is void setup serial.begin 9600 serial.println hello world. Right? You can print anything you want. Hello world. Then void loop. I don't want to print anything over here, so you can delete it also. No problem. It was just a comment. So here you can write a comment by using 2/lines. Now, after writing that, what you do in the C language, you compile it, right? You compile the program. That whatever program you have written, is there any error into it or not? Right? You are writing any, you write any program, then any, let's say command is wrong or not, right? Any error is there or not? Suman is saying that end line. See, end line is not required. It is completely okay if you will not do anything. This much will be enough. You want to do just two things. Make the serial port active with this 9600. And second is serial.println hello world. That's it. Now, if you will compile this, then it will say that compiled successfully. It means no error is there. Whenever this compiled successfully result will be done, if you will accept that comment, whatever is coming after compilation, accept that. So you should receive something at this serial port, right? You should receive something at the serial port. Now, how to see the serial port? So let me tell you, whenever you want to open the serial port, you have to double click on it. So whenever you will open the double click on the serial port, the two types of things are there. One is transmitter and one is receiver. Right now we are using only one serial port. But if you're using two serial port, then from here you can transmit something and you can receive in the another port, another serial port. That I will also tell you in the last task. Okay, but what I want to say is whenever you want to open the serial port, you can see the message whatever you want to print it. That is hello world. But right now we have compiled the program only. We haven't executed it. We haven't run our program. Right? So how to run it? So go to execute and run. The shortcut key is also there, F9. Right? So you can press F9 and hello world will be printed into the receiver of the serial port. Okay, so this is the task what I have told you actually. So let me actually give you in the PPT only, just a minute. So output of program will be hello world, right? Like that. Now two tasks are there in the exercise 1. Two tasks are there in the exercise 1. Task 1, change the baud rate in the program. New baud rate is 4800. So if I will change the baud rate into the program, let's say I will double click on the same program and instead of 9600, if I will write 4800. If I will compile it, compiled successfully, no problem. Accept it, no problem. But whenever you will run this program, it will give you the error. Error is use program execution error. So what, obviously it is not compiled error. It means You have not done any mistake in writing the program. But what is the problem? That whatever baud rate you have said, written here 4800 is not matched with the serial port baud rate. So there is no serial port present over here with whose baud rate is 4800 and can receive your command. Right? So if you will set the same rate, then only your data will be received over there. Otherwise, no. So I told you whenever I was explaining the synchronous transmission that whenever you are doing the serial communication, you have to preset the frequency. Right? So here the frequency or transfer rate is nothing but you have to set the baud rate. So baud rate should be equal in both the devices. Here from the transmission side, we are transmitting hello world with the speed. But this baud rate is not matching with the receiver. So how receiver will receive the same data? So if you will change it to 4800 and then you will run it. So reset the program and run the program. And now if you will open this, you will get the hello world printed on serial port. So that is the task one. Okay, you just have to use the same baud rate. What I want to explain you in the task one is you need to set the same baud rate in the program or in the transmitter. See, right now our program is transmitter, okay, and in the serial port, receiver port. Okay. Second task. Is any doubt into the first task? Right now I have introduced only two line of program for you. Serial.begin, serial.println, and nothing else. Okay. Second task, what you have to do is send two messages in new line. First line should contain your enrollment number and second line should contain your name. Okay, so first line enrollment number, second line your name. So how you will do it? You have to write your enrollment number and your name. You have to print two things into the serial port. What you will do? What change is required over here? You have to write serial.println two times, right? And this println will print the whatever you will write in the first line. Let's say I am writing first is enrollment number. Okay, and let's say your enrollment number, whatever your enrollment number is, you can write here. So let's say I'm writing it randomly. 9180103120. Let's say any random number I'm writing. Okay, and I want to write the another line serial.println, or you can see if you don't want to copy, you can simply copy it and paste it. It means Control C and Control V will also work here. Okay, so in the second line, what you want to do? You want to write your name. I will say that name is any name if you want to write. Let's say Suman is answering, so I'm writing his name, Sumanja. Okay, so whatever you have written, enrollment number and name, those both will be printed in the two separate lines because we have used the command println. So compile it, compiled successfully, accepted, open the serial port, but yes, we have to execute also. So press the F9 or execute from here. Okay, so both the lines will be displayed, enrollment number and the name. So whatever you want to transmit from here by using a program, you can receive in the serial port. Fine. So see, to do this type of things, you mostly what you will do is you will use some types of devices, display devices, which can display it, like LCD display or something like that, right? But you just want to check that whatever I'm writing in a program is working correctly or not by using a serial port, then you can do it easily into the Arduino programming. So many a times, whenever we work with the Arduino, we are generally using the serial port only. If it is working correctly, then only we try that experiment by using some device, and then only we purchase the component and we invest our money. Okay, so that is the thing. So invest only if you have checked it previously. So this is just for checking purpose. Now, after any doubt into the second one, simply we have done the same printing command, but by using the two different lines. So if you understand that, let us do the exercise 3. Now the message should be displayed again and again until you switch off the machine. So let's say you want to display your enrollment number and name, whatever you have written here, but not only one time, as you can see over here in the serial port. I want to display enrollment number name, enrollment number name, enrollment number name, enrollment number name. It means it should it should be printed infinite times. So what should I do, everyone? To check Arduino Uno in real life using serial port, what components we need? Nothing, only Arduino board and the cable to connect it with the PC. So connect Arduino board with the computer and you can work it with. Very easy. Arduino programming is very easy. If you will learn once, you will feel that the easiest program is actually in the Arduino. Actually, Arduino is a free one, right? Free software. So that's why also many people are using Arduino for their project because they need not to pay for it. Okay, so what was my question is, I want to display this enrollment number and name multiple times in this window, infinite times, unless and until I will close this. Yeah, we will use loop. So what I want to say is, whatever you have written over here, you if you will write that into the loop. For example, double click on here. See, serial dot begin 4800 is not a loop, right? It is a setup. So you can keep that into the setup loop only. But if you will cut these two lines and paste it into the loop, right? Paste it into the loop. So what will happen here now? That serial dot begin 4800 setup is done. So see here what will happen, this controller will find out this type of port whose baud rate is 4800. Now in a loop, whenever it will find out two lines, it will print this command again to this command, because it's a loop, right? So it run over and over and over. So compile this, accept it, and run this. So see, enrollment number name, it will be continuously being printed or being sent to the this serial port. Okay, so now you can see what is happening, right? By doing this type of programming in setup and loop, there is a difference. So anything, if you want to print it into a loop, then you can do this. That's it. So any other doubts to anyone regarding this? Unless and until we will close it, right? And we will, let's say, hold the running process, hold the execution. Then and then it will be done. We don't need to use conditions or just using void loop. Yeah, is okay. Completely okay. You need not to put any condition over here. You just put it into loop. You need not to say that start from here, and if this will happen, go to this loop. If this will not happen, go to this loop. Right? So you can use this void loop multiple times also. Very easy programming. I told you, no, very easy programming is being done into this. So that was the third task. Okay, now I will start the fourth task, which is in which I am going to use two ports, serial and alternate serial. So what I'm going to do is, I will transmit something from here. It should be received over here. Whatever I will transmit from here, it should be received over here. So we will do the program first. We will do some setup that it is working or not. If both are working correctly, then we will transmit the data. It should be received here. Whenever we will transmit from here, it should be received over here. Okay, so that we will see after the 2 minute break. That will be okay, everyone. So take a 2 minute break and then we will do that fourth task. Okay, so can we resume now? How again the people, number of people are increased? Previously it was 5, now it is 10. Great. So connecting and disconnecting. It's not the attendance time, huh? Okay, so I told you that before break, I told you that we are going to do one more task into this software. Here, only one tool is there. Let me present my screen. Okay, so here only one serial port is there. Okay, so by transmitting from here, how you can receive to here? See, from the program, if you are writing something, obviously it will be received into this port. But if you want to transmit from here, then how you can receive it somewhere, right? So here one alternate serial port is given. It, see, alternate serial port is given, no problem. But what is the condition that your pins, some of the two pins must be free for it? Because see, this serial port is working on pin number 0 and 1. So transmitter pin and receiver pin are using this serial port. So here also for the transmitter and receiver, I want two more pins, right? Either 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these pins must be free. If any of these two pins are free, then you can use this port also, no problem. Okay, so whatever transmitter will send, that will be received here. So what is the transmitter pin I want to use is, okay, whatever transmitter pin I want to use is, let's say 3 and 2 as a receiver. Okay, so whatever transmitter will transmit, right, it will be received at the receiver pin 2, and whatever transmitter from the other port will transmit by 3 pin, then it will be received over this receiver window. So here, let me give you one program in which, see, till now in the C programming, actually you were using the header files, right? Some of the header files. In some program, that some header files are fixed, but in the some program you are including more header files so that more functions can be used into it. So same way here, I want to use another serial port. And whenever you want to introduce any extra serial port other than this, then you have to use one header file into the Arduino also. And that header file is software serial.h. Baud rate equal to 4800 should be same, right? Yeah. No. It should not be same. I will tell you about that. Suman, wait a minute. I will tell you. So what I want to do is one header file should be used, that is software serial.h. Okay, so software serial is the header file in which you can use this serial port as your desired port to transmit and receive. Now I will give this port as a name, let's say my serial. Okay, I will give this port a name, let's say my serial. So what I'm doing is, in a software serial, my serial port will use pin number 2 and 3. Second pin as a receiver, third pin as a transmitter. So whenever you will write, see, no need to mention receiver transmitter, because into bracket, whenever you will write 2 first, so receiver will always be first. Okay, source, destination. So this will be the destination, comma, source. Okay, so pin number will be assigned like that. So software serial, this name you can give anything you want. So software serial, my serial will receive at the pin number 2 and 3. Now in the setup, what I want to do is serial dot begin and with some baud rate. So see, in the serial port, I have to set this baud rate 115200. So I will set it afterwards. Okay, don't worry about it. So I have to set the baud rate for the serial port as 115200. I have kept the highest possible speed so that I can transmit whatever I can transmit from the another port, I can receive it quickly. Now, one while loop is you introduced here just to tell you that you can use that while and if loop also, whatever you are using in C language. doesn't matter, right? But if you're not using it, then also it is okay. For example, I'm making it comment. Directly I am saying that serial dot begin 115200, and then this serial port, I want to check it. I want to set up by checking it that serial port should display good night moon. If it is displaying good night moon, it means it is working properly. Again, I am using my serial also. My serial dot begin, I am using another baud rate 38400. My serial dot print in, I am printing something hello world, let's say. Okay. So this is just for setup. If I want to use a loop, in a loop, what I want to do is, if anything into the my serial port is available, my serial port is available, it means whenever we are mentioning 2 and 3 number pin, if 2 and 3 pin is free, then only my serial port will be available, as otherwise not. Okay, so if you are writing the pin number randomly, but maybe sometimes these pins are not free, these are pins are working with the different devices. So let's say if those pins are free and it is in working condition, it is available, then what you want to do is, whatever you are reading into this port, whatever you are transmitting from here, that should receive over here. So serial dot write, which should be written my serial dot read. So what is actually what they are saying is, write into the serial port whatever you are reading into the my serial port. I repeat, write into the serial port whatever you are reading into the my serial port. And the opposite thing I also want to do, if serial port is available, then whatever I'm writing into the, so what actually they want to say that my serial dot write serial dot read. So write the my serial port whatever you are reading into the serial port. Okay, so whatever I will transmit from serial port, that will be received into my serial if serial port is available. Whatever I will send in the transmitter from my serial port, that will be received onto the serial port if my serial port is available. Okay, so that is the command. See, these two lines are important actually. These two if loops are important. Okay, and here this if loop will require a simple round bracket, and then you can that you can write into the void loop. Why I'm writing it into void loop? I can write it into setup also, but see what will happen into the setup. In the setup, if loop will not work. You know why? Because in the if condition, once the if condition will be checked, whatever you will write, that will be done, but only one time. Every time it will not check the my serial port because it is not in a loop. So whenever you want to use any loop like if, you should write that into the void loop. Now let me tell you how it is working. So compile the program, accept it, and see if you will run the program, it will give you the error because we haven't set the baud rate. So let me set the baud rate of serial port, baud rate of alternate serial port, and run the program. Now open the serial port, it will display the message whatever we have written into the setup mode, good night moon. It will return into the alternate serial port, hello world. But now this is not the task. This is just a checking purpose. I don't want to do these things by using this program. What I want to do is this void loop content. In this void loop, they have said that if my serial dot available, yes, it is available. So whatever you will read from the serial port. So let me write here something. Let me write any letter, send it. So see, it will be received at the receiver. Okay, now if I will transmit anything from here, if serial dot available, yes, it is available. So anything you will read from here, that will be returned into the my serial dot write. Okay, so that will be happened by this also. So let's say I'm writing now ABC, whatever you want to write, right? It is completely okay. So send it, it will be received over here, right? So if you want to transmit from one place to another place any data, then it will be transmitted by using this transmitter and receiver and this simple two-line program. Okay, but two serial ports must be there, right? So if you will write here hello, But let me tell you, whenever sometimes it happens, right now you're writing hello, send it. So what they will say is receiver character arrival, but the needed interrupt is currently disabled. See, this type of error will come. Once you will do this, this type of error will come. And see, what is being received? HE only. Double LO is not received because the speed is yet not enough. So that much speed is not available. So what you can do is, after writing HE double LO, wait for some time. Okay, and then if you will send it, after waiting for some time, if you will send it, it is again sending HE only. HELLO. Wait for some time. Let's wait for some time and then we will send it. So see, the complete hello you will receive. So it depends, right? Sometimes the speed doesn't give you the, you can say, permission to send it in the same speed whatever you want. So sometimes whenever you are writing a bigger message, you have to wait for some time. If you are writing a small message, then it will be okay. If we are sending high, it will be okay. Right? So this task we can do by using this two different serial ports available into the Arduino board. Now, what I want to say is, in the serial communication, this is the experiment in which actually we want to learn that how serial communication can be done. Okay, now what I suggest is, whatever task is given here, 4 tasks are given here, the solution for all those 4 tasks is available with me in a Word document. I have actually written all those 4 solutions. We will upload this all 4 solutions also into the Canvas. So if you are interested to do it by yourself, then you can do it. You can download the software by using that link given into the PPT. So I will upload that PPT as well as solution file. You can download the software only if you get time, okay? Because I understand you have so many things to do, right? So whenever you get time, if you want to learn something, then you can do it. It is very easy to do the programming with it. So here it is the part of syllabus that why serial communication is being used in a different ports. So I just want to give you one example that how serial communication can work. Okay, Suman is asking that, ma'am, why was the baud rate different? See, let me do the same thing what you are asking. So let me set this 115200. Let me this also set as 15200. Compile the program, accept it, run the program, open both. Right, no problem will be there, but let me tell you what will happen. See, let's say I have kept right now both the baud rate will be same for the both the ports, right? You can keep it same, but whenever you will transmit, let's say hello, I have to wait. I understand. Right? So see, whenever you will keep the different speed, you will understand that whenever I am transmitting a big message from here to here, but let's say this port is having less speed to receive. So what will happen? I am transmitting with the 115200 speed, right? But the receiver is having less speed, then you will receive the message. You will receive the message after some time, or the sum of the message will be received. Okay, so a part of the message can be received in that case. But if you are keeping a very, let's say, low speed, 4800, let's say, and let me show you what will happen here. I'm keeping it very slow speed, 4800, and let's say I'm transmitting H, no problem, HE, that will give me error. Only 2 letters will give me error, but let's say I am transmitting from here HE. It will be easily received. Why? Because I am transmitting HE from the lower speed transmitter to the higher speed receiver. So I just want to show you the speed only. That's it, Suman. Right? You can keep it same also, you can keep it different also. But you will observe the speed of transmitting and receiving. Whenever you will transmit HE from here, it will not be able to send it that quickly as this one. Okay, so let me transmit hello from here, send it. It will not receive the whole message. But if I will transmit hello from here, it will see here it was not receiving anything. But if you will transmit it from here, let me wait for some time and then I will send it. Then I will receive the complete message for sure. Right, so just I want to tell you that you can get a different speed of the transmitting and receiving. That's it. Otherwise you can keep it same also, no problem. So other than Suman, I think no one is active. What about other students? Are you getting it? Have you any doubts? If you have doubt, you can ask me. Your doubts are welcome. If you will ask me something, you and the other students all will learn. But if you will not ask me anything, then definitely you will receive whatever I will give you. That much only, I mean. Okay. So, okay, everyone, what I was telling you, you can download that software, and if you will get the time, you want to do it, you can do it by yourself also. Okay. So, this was your eighth experiment, everyone. Serial communication. There is no task I am giving you in this experiment. I mean, no exercise I am giving you for this experiment. The exercise is totally optional. So if you want to try it by yourself, PPT and the solution document file will be provided to you. You can do it if you get the time. Otherwise, it will be completely okay. Fine. So exercise, if exercise will be there in the pre-lab manual, obviously. But in the lab manual, you have to do the same thing what I have explained here. Okay, so same task solution is given to you, so you can directly copy the program from there to the lab manual. That's it. If you want to try it into the software, you can do it. Okay, so till now we have completed total 8 experiments. Now 2 more experiments are remaining. One is the actually Bluetooth related experiment is there, and the another one is, I think, yes, Cisco packet tracer. Right, so in that Cisco packet tracer, I am just going to give you the brief introduction and one task I am going to give you, because see, whenever you will go to the next semester, you will learn one more subject related to this, that is advanced communication network, ACN. In that ACN subject, you will, I think, definitely you will go through that tool. So if you have like brief knowledge about that tool, you can easily cope up with that. Right, so that is the task I'm going to explain you in the 10th experiment. So any doubts so far to anyone in this 8th experiment? Ma'am, I checked the rubric. I want to do the online quiz, and then going to the links provided there for practice quiz. It is saying the site is not available. What should I do? Suman, can you please unmute yourself and ask the question clearly? Whenever you are clicking on that link, you are getting site is not available, right? Yeah. Please share the screen and show me so that I can come to know. Maybe are you copying the link properly? Maybe there is a problem in the link copy. Maybe. And if there is a problem that site is not available, definitely we will give you the another website. So thank you to tell me that. But please show me that, because I want to see that. Actually, whenever we have checked all the links, all those links were working. So right now, maybe there is a problem in the website. Or do one thing, Suman. Or rather than sharing the screen, kindly copy that link into the chat box. That will be easy because I will open it here. Yeah, that's good. So So first of all, you have to do sign in and you will get the questions. Yeah, you are getting it. Can you see the screen? You are getting the questions. This link is properly working, Suman. But directly don't write the, don't start giving the quiz, okay? First of all, sign in into that website. So once you will go to that website, let me tell you what you have to do. Go to that website, register yourself, right? So your username will come here and then start giving the exam. Maybe there is some another problem, Suman, because this link is properly working. We have checked it before giving you. We have already checked it. So check your internet connection also and check this link again. It is working. I have shown you, no? By clicking on this link only, I have shown you. Yeah, I am able to see the link. Can you please copy the link and paste it again? Not from here. Okay, no problem. Yeah, whatever you have typed it into chat box, copy from there. And right click and open in the new tab. Do it open link in the new tab. See, it is opening. See that? Okay, Suman? Okay, fine. Okay, so I think that's it for today. I'm not going to start that Bluetooth experiment today now, right? That we will start. That experiment we will start in the next lab. So that's it for today. Everyone, write your enrollment number. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. And after writing the number, you can leave the meeting. It's a real quiz. It's not for practice. So everyone, write your enrollment number. Mihir, Hala, Lina, write your number. Elias, Bikash. You don't want, okay, Bikash is written. Yeah,
I write it.
yeah, okay, fine. So those who have written their number, kindly leave the meeting so that I can come to know that you have written your number. Bikash, Lina, leave. Okay, another students, Mihir. Sachit, okay, return the number. Okay, Sachit, you can leave. Yograj. Yograj. Elias. Okay, Yograj, you can leave now. Mihir, Elias. Hala, Mohammed. Hala, write your number. Okay, 21. I got it. Hala, Mohammed, you can leave. Mihir and Elias. Mihir and Elias.